Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. What's today? Thursday? Feels like a Friday for some reason. Um, wow. Anyway, let's just wait. A few people come in. Let me get my act together here. Hopefully, you guys can hear me loud and clear. Loud and clear on my microphone. Hmm. Perfect sound. Okay. Let me see something here. All right, we're getting some people coming here. Yes, you can disable the iPhone Pro Max's internal microphone and use an external mic instead. To do this, you need to connect your external mic to the iPhone, adjust the audio settings, blah, blah, blah. So that automatically, huh, I'll figure that out. I want to turn off the microphone on my phone and then make sure that this is the only mic that's on, and that way I know the phone mic is not what's being used. It's this mic because this is connected. It should be this microphone, but I don't know. I'm not sure. So anyway, here we are, Thailand in 2050. What the next 25 years will really look like. That's what we're talking about today. We already know what the past 25 years has been like. Let's see here. When I first landed here in Thailand over 30 years ago, it was a completely different world. And people say, oh, it hasn't changed that much. Everything's still the same. No, it's not. If you haven't been here, if you're just a tourist coming here 30 years ago, 40 years ago, whenever, if you're a tourist, you don't know how it's changed. That's because living here and visiting here are much different. Now, Bangkok felt really big back then, but compared to now, it was almost a small town. There was no BTS SkyTrain, there was no MRT subway, there was no city link. Um, Sukhumvit Road had gaps between buildings, which have been filled in now, with small mom and pop shops and empty lots scattered along the way. If you left the city, it didn't take long before you were surrounded by rice paddies and open land. Probably a little more blurry. My eyesight isn't getting better as I age. Neither is mine. Seriously, neither is mine. Mine's going down, down, down. And I got glasses about 6 months ago. I probably need a different pair now because my eyes are that much worse. Um, like I used to say, and like I've said, street food was maybe 5 or 10 baht in some cases, and a couple of hundred baht could carry you through the day pretty easily. Pattaya still had a lot of fishing boats pulled up to the sand, and it wasn't unusual to see rather large stretches of beach without any people on them. And if you met another foreigner in a rural town, you probably would stop to chat, and not because you knew them, but just because they were another Westerner. And that was a rare event. And the Thais would look at you and maybe you were sort of an anomaly. But now, I mean, like, I kind of have the feeling like, if some foreigner walks by me and he like looks at me, I kind of feel like, what is the point of me saying hello to them? I got my circle of friends. I'm fine. I don't have to just say hello to everybody. And I don't know. I'm just not that friendly. I have to go to everybody who walks by me who's got white skin. Oh, you're like me. Wow. How are you doing, buddy? Where you from? How long you been here? I just don't have the energy to do it anymore. It's not that I am standoffish or anything like that. I just feel like what's the point? If we're both alive in 25 years, I'll answer this question. Well, I hope I'm alive, but I don't know. Maybe I won't be. And that's the thing. You don't know. I could not, maybe for all I know, I could be dead tomorrow. Knock on wood. So you never know. If you fast forward to now, Bangkok's skyline looks like something out of a movie, futuristic movie. The streets are jammed pretty much day and night, and the internet is faster than in many, many Western cities. People don't understand this. If you want to talk about, Mukdahan or somewhere like that, uh, even the cities, the actual Naimuang, the city is actually fairly built up. But when you go out into the villages, that's where it gets to be like, okay, you're behind you're behind a fair amount of years. You might be behind, say, 5 or 10 years. I mean, I used to live in a village in Udon Thani, and that place, there was nothing. I mean, really, it was a bunch of village homes. That was it. So now it's quite a bit different, but you can get just about anything delivered to your door in maybe an hour or two. Sometimes, if it's out of the city, I have things delivered to me from Pattaya every once in a while. And, it might be the next day or something like that. Um, but it just depends. But for the most part, you can get everything delivered to you within an hour or so. Especially if you're in Bangkok, even if you're not in Bangkok, um, the malls are massive. I mean, people come to this mall, which I kind of take for granted. And I mean, I hate to say it, I take it for granted here. To me, it's just another mall where they're trying to sell shit. Seriously, this is just a place where it's just a commercial. This is how I see it. It is a commercial entity here, and that's all it is. It's not, yeah, they want you happy so that you keep shopping. They want you to be pleased so that you come back. But the bottom line is they want you to think this is now they call it the life store here. I mean, I come here, like I said, probably 5 mornings every week. And I come here to grocery shop. Maybe I get something from the pharmacy. Once in a while, I go to the bank, which, by the way, the bank is a little bit irritating. Soy doggy style. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Soy doggy style. Please give him a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. Choke D to you. I'm trying to think of the changes since my first trip in 2014. I don't know. I can't help you with that because I'm not thinking about the changes that you see. But But anyway, let me get to this here. Let me get into this a little bit more here. The malls, the condos. There's condos everywhere now. You want a condo, you can go in there. Now, what I find really fascinating is that you can get, and I hate to harp on about this, but you can find yourself a nice house, 10, 20,000. I mean, townhouse, 5, 10,000. Now, maybe that's not right in the heart of the city, right in the heart on Sukhumvit Soy 4. No. Okay, it's going to be a little bit more there because you're right there in the city. Now, personally, I don't want to be in that area anymore. Now, maybe because I've gotten older and I'm a little more mellow and I just like to be alone. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be in the heart of the action. I'd rather just come in a taxi, take a half an hour, 45 minutes, come in, and then if I want to go out, I'm right in the heart of the action. Okay, so you go out a half an hour or so, 45 minutes. You can get stuff for cheap, cheap, a lot cheaper than if you're down in Sukhumvit or say you're in Ceylon, something like that. And people don't understand that, or they understand it, but they just don't want to take, they don't want to take the time to really look. And that's the whole thing. If you take the time, my wife, man, she goes through, there was some like housing publication. I don't remember what it was called. It was for like rental and for buying. And she'd go through it. It was all in Thai. So it would have taken me a long time to do it. I would have had to really hone in. It would have taken me hours and hours to do it. She does it. She goes through, she gets 20 different places and she starts looking around. She starts calling places. If they give her an attitude or, it's already taken or whatever it is, then that's it. They're off the shelf. But she's found us 3 places that were really, really nice. I mean, like for the money, they're fantastic. I don't want to move. That's the whole thing, because I don't want to pay the extra money. Call me cheap. I don't want to pay the extra money because I'm very comfortable where I am. My kids are still home, although I don't know about Alex. He might not be home that much longer. I don't know. But my kids are at home, and I like having them around most of the time. And if I wanted to pay, $1,500 for or $1,000 or $1,500, whatever it is, for a brand new house, instead of just paying it all in cash, then I would do it. But I don't see the wisdom in that. When, first of all, Thailand is making so many changes. They're constantly changing the rules, the laws, the regulations, the way that things are done. Look at the banks right now. If Thailand can change a lot in the last 30 years, imagine what the next 25 are going to bring, especially with all the changes that they're making right now. And in 2050, I don't think this is going to be the same Thailand that people around the world fell in love with. I wouldn't say in the last 5 years, but say, and I know people still, oh man, I came to Thailand and it's wonderful and it's so great. Yeah, okay. Keep thinking that. Or is it going to continually get harder to live here and it's going to get more expensive and it's going to be just like Singapore? It might. Is the Thailand you fell in love with going to be is it going to be a dream, or is it going to be a memory? Which one's it going to be? That's kind of what we're going to talk about today. But, talking about the banks, I mean, I go onto my apps, and I have apps all on my phone. I don't usually use the ATMs because the sons of bitches have cut back on the number of ATMs. If I want to go to an ATM here in the mall, I'm serious as a heart attack. There's 2 ATMs in the back of the mall. That's it. There's no other ATMs until you go up to the floor where there are banks. That's it. So I have to go to the 4th floor every time I want to go to an ATM. There are no more ATMs outside like there used to be. You know, I used to go to the ATMs outside. There used to be a Kashikorn Bank at the other exit on the other end next to Starbucks now. There used to be a Kashikorn Bank and Krungsri Bank ATM right there. And I would go to those. Then on the second floor, there would be a Krungsri Bank there. And there was a couple others. There was Government Bank. Now they put all the banks on the top floor. So if you want to go to an ATM, you have to go upstairs. So basically what that means is you have to take a trip to the bank to go to an ATM. Now, there are ATMs sporadically located throughout the city, but really there's ATMs next to Lotus and first of all, they have one on the ground floor, and then you got to go up to the bank again. The banks they're all on one floor. If you go to Happy Land, there are probably 4 or 5 of them. And then on the first floor, there is an SCB and a Bangkok Bank. So it's more convenient over there, but that's because that's a lower end place, and they probably want people to spend the money, go in and, oh, you don't have a QR code? You would be surprised at how many people I've run into, especially taxi drivers, and they go, oh, I don't have a bank account. How can you go through life without a bank account? You're a Thai citizen. Now, I thought about it. You know, you think, hey, taxi drivers get paid in cash. So they don't want to let anybody know what they have. You know, some of them are really conspiracy theorists. They're really the kind who the government might know how much money I have. Well, you only got 25,000 baht a month. It's not like they're going to rake you over the coals for it. But okay, that's the way that it is. So I don't understand this, but what the banks are doing now is I have Bangkok Bank, I have 3 accounts. I have SCB, I have 1 account. Kashikorn, I have 1 account. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. Okay. Then I have UOB, which I don't have a ATM card, and I don't even have it linked online. It's just a bank book that is for myself and for Alex. They cannot close it ever. Doesn't matter if I don't put any money in there. There's 0.01 satang in the bank. They cannot close it because his name is on it. And because it's a child and parents' bank account book, they're not allowed to close it. So whatever. But I don't have an ATM, and I don't really use it other than to put money in. And then what else? What other one do I have? SCB, Kashikorn, Thai Military Bank. Then I have UOB, and then I have 3 for Bangkok Bank. Now, every single one of them, except Thai Military Bank, when you go to see how much you can transfer, what it used to be 200,000, 400,000, 500,000, 800,000, a million baht. You could transfer all that. Now it says you must go into the bank. If you're going to transfer over 50,000, they will not release. In the app, there's a little button that you click to decide how much you want to put in. They've eliminated that. Now the max is 49,999 baht. That's all you can send. Now, I know it's a simple thing to go in, but listen, why are they doing that? If I want to go and buy a motorcycle, I can't just transfer the money right from my mobile app. Now, if I go to the ATM, done. Just transfer whatever you need to transfer. So what is the point of doing that? Because they don't want to make it easier. They want to make it harder. And I didn't used to want to believe this, but they want to make it harder for the foreigner. And even the Thais, they don't care about foreigner Thais sometimes. The Thais get shit on just like the foreigners do by the government. But more specifically, they do want to make it more difficult for foreigners. That's why they're not allowing people to open bank accounts. Now, I understand they're tourists, and some of the people with their, what is it, what's the thing, DTV or something like that? Hang on a second, I don't remember what it is. Yeah, it's the DTV, Destination Thailand. They won't let them open bank accounts. So here you are, you want to live in the country and yet you can't have a bank account. Well, then you know what? Fuck you. I don't need to have a bank account here. If I really want to think about it that way, I don't need to use my QR code. First of all, I can get cash. I can get cash from my US account. And I'm actually, I am thinking now about getting a retirement visa in Cambodia just so that I can open a bank account there. My buddy has a bank account. He goes, it's a piece of cake, man. He goes, you don't have all this bullshit that you have in Thailand. Now, I don't want to live in Cambodia, but I wouldn't mind having some of the perks. And I don't want to have to deal with this bullshit that they're starting to implement. Yeah, using your wife's QR code. Yeah, well, I understand that. You have a Wise card, Charles? Because my account is set up in Thailand. Now, if I wanted, I could set it up in the US. That's why. Now, I've been thinking about this, and I may do it just because of the shit that's going on here in Thailand. And that is that I have this address here, and I don't have any problems. I have a Thai account. I have US accounts. It's no problem. And if I want, I'll get a Cambodian account. But I may call them up and say, what do you need for me to open my account in the US? You're not allowed to open two accounts. You can have a business and personal, but you can't have two personals. So I may ask them that. And if it only takes a day or two for me to change the address, I'm in. Give me the card. Send me the card. Now, I had heard that they had done away with it. Well, they did do away with the cards for the US, and then they brought it back. Now, I don't know what's going on with it now, but so the banks right now in Thailand are just a clusterfuck. And think about it. What kind of people want to invest in Thailand? Who wants to invest in Thailand when they got to go through all this bullshit? And you know, there's a lot of good things about Thailand. The people can be some of the nicest anywhere that I've ever been. And I've been to like 60 countries. And out of all the countries, they are some of, if not the nicest people that you will ever meet. Now, that's if you don't get into a business deal with them, or you don't have to follow any rules and regulations from them, just a neighbor or something like that. My neighbors bring me fruit and vegetables and all kinds of shit all the time. They're constantly bringing stuff over. I mean, probably twice a month I get something from the neighbors or from our landlord or something like that. I mean, you know, they give you like $20 worth of stuff. You know, yeah, I don't really care about the car culture, and I'll tell you why. Because I know a guy who got into an accident. He was not at fault, okay? And he had to pay through the yin yang. He had to pay and pay and pay. And he was not guilty of anything. The other person was guilty, and they did say to him, if you were not here, he would not have got into an accident. So that's enough to make me go, fuck that. I'm not doing it. Even a motorcycle. A motorcycle for me, listen, I had motorcycles. I had 9 motorcycles back in the US. And I mean, I crashed a couple times, but I mean, I rode for 15 years, 16 years, from the time I was 16 years old. And so, you know, I think about it and I go, a car. Okay, if my wife is driving, you know, and I don't really trust her driving, honestly. They brought it back. I have one, but I buy bot and transfer very frequently, so no problem, little fees. Yeah, I know that. So I got to do that. And I've been, you know, I've been dicking around and dicking around. I don't want it to change my account number or anything like that, anything in the system. Because if it does that, then it means I've got to go through all kinds of, I mean, I got to change my social security. I'd have to change all kinds of things. If the money just comes here and I got my Wise card, well, then it's like, hey, Very easy. But yeah, getting back to the motorcycle, I mean, if I didn't live in Bangkok, if I lived out in a village somewhere, I would probably get a motorcycle, but I would be extremely careful just because I don't want to get into an accident. I don't feel like dying on the streets. If I lived in Phuket, I wouldn't have a motorcycle. That's where a lot of people die. They go up and down the hill and they go around those windy curves when it's raining and then they bite the dust. Now, I just don't want to get into an accident to where I got to spend a year recovering. I don't want to get into anything like that. Now, if I wanted a car, if I'm out in the village, like we have a truck, we have a motorcycle out in the village. If I need it, I just go, I need to use the motorcycle. I got to go somewhere. All right, be careful. But in the city, here, why on earth would I have a car where I got to sit there in traffic and deal with all the bullshit? The people are passive aggressive and all this other shit. I just don't want to deal with it. Yeah, nobody wants to drive in Bangkok. I mean, nobody in their right mind. I mean, yeah, get outside of Bangkok. That's a different story. Wow, long time. Usually Future Park Novotel, or if I need to be by Bangkok, Bang Na, Soy Bang Na, I use Grab. Yeah, Grab and Bolt are great. And like I always say, I got a chauffeur, man. You know, I got a chauffeur. That's how it works. Well, the old guy in the seat. Let's see here. What's today? Thursday. Okay, I didn't come on Tuesday. On Monday I came and I was here first and he didn't come. Wednesday, yesterday I came and I was here. Listen, I know they open up early. So I came at like 10 minutes to 8. I came in here, sat down, and he came in at about 9 o'clock. I was sitting here. He looked over at me. He just went all the way to the back to where his chair is. He sat down back there. He didn't say anything. And then, thank you very much, Charles. Thank you a lot. Choke me. And then today, I came in here right at 8 o'clock. I thought I'm going to push it a little bit just to see. He's not here yet, but I have a feeling he's going to come here with his snot rag and his food and all this other stuff. So I want to be sitting in my seat because I was going to stream from home, and I just thought I want to come in. I want to get a coffee. I like coming for a coffee in the morning. It's part of my routine. And when I got this message the other day that says all you do is drink coffee, and well, all you do is drink coffee, and I said, yeah. So what's the problem? I do a lot more than that, and I've done a lot more than that in the past, and that's what people don't understand. I've earned this right. I do whatever the hell I want now. I told my wife is working. I said, listen, just keep working, socking that money away so that you and the kids, you're always, and now Alex is socking the money away. All you guys are in a good place so that when I'm gone, it's no big deal. Oh, I love Scott. Yeah, he was great. But, oh, yeah, I'm living good. No problem. I got a good life. Fine. That's all I care about. I just care that when I go, that's it. Now, what is this? What do you think about just using your wife's bank account for everything and not bothering with one at all? I don't think that's very smart. And I don't think it's very smart because while you trust your wife, and you can say you trust her 100%, the bottom line is I trust my wife 99.9%. But this guy wrote the other day in the comments, he said, hey, you got to tell people about men who are going to lose all their money to the women. I said, no. They're not losing all their money to the women. They give them access to it. and they get taken. So they gave the access, they gave the way for the woman to take the money, and she just went, you know what? I'm tired. This guy's, he screws me 8 times a day. He's not that great of a guy. Shit, I don't care. He's only got 2 million baht here. I'm taking it. They just take and go out. See you later. That's it. So why would you give her access to it? You got 2 million baht. You'd say, okay, listen, I'm putting 500,000 in our account. That's what we got. And you just watch her. And you never put more than that in there. And if you got more money, you make sure that if you die, she can have access to it. And you put the money in your own account. I don't have access to my wife's money, and she doesn't have access to my money. And she doesn't care, and neither do I. Why? Because I don't want her money. I'm not after her money. And she's not after my money. Now, of course, if I had a big chunk, she'd be like, oh, you break me off a piece, but so would I. Scott, you're the only vlogger that I know that keeps it real about driving in Thailand. I don't know why everybody has to. Where am I now? Everybody has to. I don't really get why everybody has to have a bike. It's dangerous. Well, bikes are very, very different and very dangerous. They're different than a car because when you're in a car, you're protected by steel. You're in a big truck, you're protected by steel. You get hit by a little Honda Prelude, you're probably going to be okay. You get hit on a motorcycle, you might be dust. The only reason I use a motorcycle is when I travel throughout Thailand. But as is in the city, I don't even drive. I use the Bahtman or both. My wife always goes, we should rent a car and drive all over and you can make lots of videos. And I'm like, okay, so first of all, we got to pay for the car. Second of all, we got to take a chance driving where we don't know, where we're not familiar with, which, okay, that's fine. I understand. And then I'm like, listen, how about we just go to one place and we take public transportation, we get there and we get somebody to drive us around, we pay them. And that way we're not on the hook. Oh, yeah. Use grab and bolt and the BTS. It only makes sense in Bangkok. Chiang Mai also sucks from driving a car in the city. I wouldn't drive in Chiang Mai either. Better than all you do is drink beer. Yeah, I never drink beer, fortunately. I was referring to the car show shenanigans in the Thai supercar series, but man, that sounds rough on a foreigner on the regular streets. Yeah, I know those car shows, a lot of people really like them. I don't know, man. I'm not really all that into cars. I mean, I like nice cars. I like Ferraris, Lamborghinis, of course, Rolls. I like these cars. But that's because I think to myself, hey, I like to be sitting in the back seat of a Rolls with somebody driving me, or I'm like thinking, hey, I'd like to be in a Ferrari driving that Ferrari, but that's about it. Haha, exactly. Keep that money separated. Where is it? Keep that money separated, brothers. Money can change people. Yeah. I never give access to my wife access to. What difference does it make if all the accounts in the U.S. are already joint? I'm just asking about convenience since all finances are already shared. Well, that's your prerogative. Dirty coffee down. Quite frankly, I mean, why do you have everything joint? I know you probably trust your wife, and you should. I trust my wife. But there will be a time when I may have a little more money than she does. In if all things go as planned. And I don't plan on saying to her, oh, you can have 100,000 baht. I've got my 100,000. Here you go. You can have all of it, baby. No, why? What does she need it for? Then I don't need it for. Let me just ask you something. I heard this yesterday on a podcast. And the man was saying, listen, men, we go to war, we build things, we do things, we put our bodies on the line, we are supposed to defend the woman, we do all these things. What do the women give to us? Now, some other simp was in there going, oh, she gives us our children. Well, wait a minute, didn't you have a part in it? What do they give you besides a piece of ass? So that's the hook. Now, I'm not saying that, you get married and it's not a close relationship. You're not best friends. You're not any of that. I understand that. If I didn't love my wife, I wouldn't be with her. And she can be a pain in the ass sometimes. Oh, my arm hurts. Oh, my knee hurts. Oh, I'm so tired. All that kind of whinging. But okay, you know. But like, what do I get? I look at it at home. I go, what do I get? Of course, I get the sex whenever I want, pretty much. TkyoSam, there you are again. Thailand isn't U.S. We have no rights. They don't care about us. Well, that's why you never put yourself in a position of disadvantage other than you are here, and that's it. Now, if you have things lined up, you may win in a court of law if you're battling, your woman for stealing your money or something like that. If you can show that it's your money, you're the one who deposited everything, and maybe you'll get lucky. All I'm saying is that if you're going to be with a woman, why would you give her everything? You would just you put all your eggs in that basket. Oh, because I trust her, because she's so sweet and I love her. Oh, God, please. Why I got to hear this from you? Really, why do I have to hear this? It's ridiculous. Forget the love. Remember that it's also business. It is business. Whether you're in the United States or whether you're in Thailand. Yeah, the thing is, it is common sense. You don't leave yourself with, listen, if I work hard all my life and I go, God, I got 100,000 in the bank now. I'm not going to, I might give my wife 20,000. I go, listen, here's 20,000 in a joint account. Don't spend it unless we need it. Okay. There you go. I trust my wife, but if she's going on my bank account, she's not getting 100% of everything that I have, because I know my wife. I know my wife can be brutal if she wants to be. Okay. And I know women, and women will leave you high and dry. They'll go, yeah, what's the matter? You can make money. No problem. You get more money. Yeah, but you took all my money. I know a guy. I met a guy. I knew him for, I don't know, 2 weeks. I was staying in this hostel in Seattle. This is 32 years ago, 31 years ago. And he was a young guy. He was about 24, 25. He said to me, well, I'm here now because I don't have any money. And I said, oh, really? And I said, what happened? You're not working. You're not, what's going on? He goes, well, I used to sell T-shirts. I've told this story before. He's like, I used to sell T-shirts. Oh, wow. Where'd you do that? Oh, on the shore, Jersey Shore. He used to sell T-shirts, and he made a good living. He said, I stashed 100 grand. Then, I used to go to China to get my shirts. I get them for like $1 each, 75 cents each. Then he would, put the prints on them and all that stuff. He would sell them. He made bank. So he's in China with his new wife. One day he goes home. He goes to the bank, goes to the bank account. He checks his bank account. He doesn't have any money. And he looks at it, what did you do? And she goes, oh, my parents needed the money, so I gave it to him. He's like, no. And she's like, oh, they're a family. So, sorry, but this is how it works here. And he divorced her, as he should have. Hey, Jim, how you doing? All right, let me get, I got to go off on this tangent here. In case you don't know, I am Scott. I'm an American who's been living here for too long, more than 3 decades. And do me a favor, if you like this video, the live stream, please click like. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and all that good stuff. Let's just get right into it. I don't feel like going into the whole rigmarole. Most people know everything about, everything down below and what you can do. I don't want to get into it. Well, I think that was probably made up by women. Listen, what happens if you're a, look what happens in the entertainment world. You got a guy, he's an actor, but he's not an A-list actor. He's a guy, he's making pretty good money. He might be, a millionaire, but he's only got like 1.2 million or something. He's not that rich. He meets this chick. She's fine as hell. She's a model. Now, she's traveling all over the world. She's making all this money. Oh, I love you, baby. I miss you. And then after a little while, things change. Now she's making 3 million a year. And she's like, this guy is like old news. He doesn't make that much money. I make more money than he does. And she dumps him. That happens all the time. Draw up a will or make an arrangement with the bank. You have to, if you're going to do anything with the bank, it has to be on paper for sure. And you're allowed to do that. In the event you've got a significant amount of money to give the wife, if you take the dirt nap. Nobody said a man is the breadwinner. 100K gone should equal more than divorce, more like disappear. I guess what I was asking is why care about a few 100,000? I'm not talking about a few 100,000 baht. If your assets are shared in another country, well, why are your assets shared in another country? Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I'm sorry. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Yeah, a few 100,000 is what, somebody might have. Now, if you got money in the US, I would say if you're a smart man, honestly, what I think is you invest in certain things, you get a safety deposit box. If you got that much money, you put your cash in safety deposit box. You put some gold in a safety deposit box, some silver, platinum, whatever. You put it in a safety deposit box. That way you know, hey, I got 25 grand sitting in my bank. I got 50 grand sitting in the bank. Plus I got gold. Plus I got silver. Then your wife don't know about it. You don't need to let her know about it. If she ever asks you, she finds out, you go, listen, honey, I had this long before I met you, and I didn't think it was a big deal. I don't really have anything in there. Blah, blah, blah. End of story. I understand, there is such a thing as trust, but there's also such a thing as, leaving yourself exposed. If your wife wanted to take the money, does she need your signature on the account? If she doesn't, she can just go there and go, oh, we got 50,000 in this bank. I'm taking it. I'm gone. Well, and if you need help, she can help you. If you want to commingle your account, then commingle a small amount. Don't commingle 100% of your funds. That's my opinion. Okay. Now, by 2050, 1 in 3 Thais will be over the age of 60. The fertility rate is below 1.3, and the population is shrinking. There are more migrant workers from Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, and now they're starting to come from Africa. The rural villages will empty out. Everybody will move to the major cities. I mean, how hard is it to be like, account for her, for you, joint account? You both contribute to the one account each. Yeah. Well, that's a little tricky, man. That's a tricky question. Um, I think they can. I mean, we do, but I don't want my kids working. I want Alex working now, and he is working, but I don't want Nicholas working because he needs to focus on school, and that's it. He's got 7 classes. He has 7 classes. So, and it's only 4 days a week that he has class. Now he could work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but that's it. Those are his days where, first of all, the kid has to have some time to relax. Second of all, he needs to have time to do his homework. you know. So, if it comes down to it, if he's a good kid, he's got his head on his shoulders, or she has her head on her shoulders, I would say, yeah, you got to pay it. The QQQ, I know about the QQQ and S&P 500. Here it's the S&P 50. There is no Xbox. We don't play video games in our house. And if he's on the phone playing video games, I get pissed. Yeah, we didn't have the money to send two to an international school, but we did have the money to send them to a bilingual school, and it was a good school, and it was freaking expensive, man. And you can still give your wife your money if she asks, if there's a need, but at least you know about it and can approve it. Yeah, exactly. Why does she have to have free access to your money? Do you have free access to her money? I mean, okay, yeah, I guess that's good if you do. If my wife said to me, listen, I got 3 million baht, it's yours if you need it. But I would just say use it wisely. It's mine and it's yours. Now, would I use it? Probably not. I wouldn't go out and say, oh, I'm going to go buy a brand new Leica camera. It's just not going to happen. I just wouldn't do it. I mean, why? Yeah, the fertility rate is really low. Now, if you try to picture Thailand with where the average person is over 60 years old, would it make the country better, worse, or would it just make it different? Because to me, I think it would make it worse. I don't want the average age to be over 60. 30? Okay. 35? Okay. But not, why do parents want their kids to move out at 18? I want my kids to be super codependent, not to be super codependent, but I want them to feel like home is their home base. Well, that's me. Listen, they can leave when they want to, and I know, Alex, I mean, his mother may cook for him once in a while, but most of the time he's cooking his own breakfast, he cooks his own dinner, and he cooks lunch to take to work because he doesn't want it. He's cheap. It's not that he's cheap, he's frugal and he's smart. He doesn't want to pay 150 baht every single day for a lunch, which is, the people in his office go out and they spend 100, 150 baht every day. He told me, he goes, I like to just wait until they leave and then I go walk right downstairs. There's a little place I found. It's 40 baht for a kaijio homdang. And they put it over rice. So he gets rice and like a 3-egg omelet for 40 baht. He's like, that's fine. But most of the time he brings his lunch and he makes it himself. And the thing is he knows he's going to stash a bunch of money, but he's told me, listen, I think now I don't make enough money to live a decent life on my own. He knows. So I said, just sock the money away for a year or two. Then when you're making more money, if you're making 80,000, 100,000 baht a month, then you can go, okay, I can afford this 20,000 baht apartment or whatever it is. And it won't be, I took one early short on Russell 2000 and two longs on this morning and printed. Like if my kids moved out when they have their own family, I'd like them to live nearby. I wouldn't be an annoying grandparent, but I'd be nearby if they need me. Listen, I tell my mother all the time, you can call me anytime you want. No problem. She's like, I don't want to bother you. And I'm like, so I make sure I call her once or twice a week, every week. And I'll say, oh, I'm just calling to say hello. Nothing's going on. Or, oh, Alex just, he got a job. He's working. He's happy, or whatever. Nicholas took a test. Yeah, a lot of men here. I mean, I hate to say it, but, and, I'm sorry for the people in the chat who are somewhat intelligent, but I think there's so many idiots that come to Thailand. They're just like, oh my God, it's the best place ever. I can get so much pussy. Oh my God. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, you get the pussy, big deal. Listen, once you bust a nut, and okay, maybe you bust a nut again and again. Once you bang the chick a few times, it doesn't matter if she's freaking Christy Brinkley. After a month, you're going to be going, hey, you know, I banged this chick 100 times already in a month. We've been screwing like rabbits. Let's tone it down a little bit. Instead of screwing 8 times a day, let's screw twice a day. And then, you know, you find out if you're bored with them, if you have anything else in common with each other, you know? Well, the way that I hear it now, a lot of girls don't notice guys. And then, listen, I see these fat pigs. I'm sorry. It's the only way I can describe them. Fat, ugly pigs. Well, I'm fat, but you know what? That doesn't matter. I'm beautiful. And if a guy can't see that, then I don't want him. My guy has to have 150,000 body. He has to be 6'2". Oh, shut the fuck up, you fat pig. Shut up. You're stupid. That's what you are. How many guys are over there paying for your rent and paying for everything just because they're getting into your fat booty? It ain't happening. You know, I love I love the guy. He's dead now. Kevin Samuels, the black guy that did all the thing about the, you know, about the women. And he would just, there'd be some girl. She's a size 16, and she's 5'4". And he's like, well, I can see that your face is fat. You're fat. And she's like, listen, I get hit on by guys all the time. I just can't keep a man. And he's like, that's because they just want to screw you and hit it and quit it. My God. When I finally visit Thailand, I'm bringing my beautiful lady with me. I just want to see the cars. Okay. You have what? You have a Thai woman, or you have a Western woman? Hey, listen. Nowadays, if you're smart, you never run to a woman ever. You don't chase them. You don't run after them. Because if they want you, they'll let you know. Can you please turn that off? I would appreciate it. Thank you. I mean, you know, I just can't stand it. I see some of these live streams, and the chicks are dumb as hell. You think guys are stupid? Oh my God. At least the ones that they pick, I don't know, maybe they're picking the dummies. I don't know. And a chick might have 2 degrees, but she's dumb as a rock when it comes to being someone with common sense. Well, you know, I had this guy and he didn't work, and you know, it was okay for a year or two, and I'm like, wait a minute. You're the one who picked him. What are you complaining about? You made the choice. Then he wasn't up to my standards. What does that mean? Well, you know, I was making 42,000 a year and he was making 38, and he did not want to push it to make 50,000. Okay, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna really, if you love the guy and you want to be with the guy, it's all about the money. So if you're not gonna get the money, then you might as well figure that's it. And you know, that's the thing. That's why you don't hook up and stay with them so easily. Getting them is easy. It's getting rid of them that is more difficult. Really. Getting rid of the woman, I don't care if it's Thailand or America. I had problems getting rid of women in America. I can remember one who I moved out, and she came over to my house and picked a fight with me. Then she went to the police. And the police came and they were like, well, what's going on? So they took me to jail. I got there and they go, Like after 2 hours, they go, "There's no what. What is this chick doing? She has no evidence. She's not going to testify. This guy's free. You didn't do anything wrong." I said, "Yeah, I know." Then she came to me crying, begging me to take her back. Now I screwed her again, but I didn't take her back. Of loud music off Soy Cowboy every night. Modern degenerate culture for you. I don't know. I think if you just need a piece of ass and you go to a place because that's what you need, you go, you get your needs met, and then you say, "Thank you, honey. Beautiful time. Here's your money. I gave you a little tip. Um, take care. Be good. Bye." That's it. Yes, a trust is a good thing, a living trust, and then that's always good. And this is the thing. This is the thing. If you think about it, any money that a woman has ever got out of you, especially here in Thailand, I can look back and I know if this woman got 4,000, 5,000 baht out of me, it was because I said, "Okay, I'm going to give it to you." It wasn't because she took it from my pocket. It wasn't because she stole from me. It wasn't because she conned me and got, "Oh, Scott, I love you so much." I just didn't put myself in that position to be taken. So nobody took money from me. I gave it to them of my own free will. Sometimes the crazy ones are the best lays. All right. So, Bangkok is sinking 1 to 2 centimeters a year. Sea level rise could mean 40% of Bangkok floods annually. The hot season temperatures could hit 45 Celsius regularly, and the low lying islands are at risk of vanishing. Now, I mean, would you live here if it's flooding on a regular basis? If you would, type yes in the chat or no. But I know if it starts flooding here, I'm like, I'm out of here. And I don't know, would I go to the south? I'm putting together this video now on our farm. And it's amazing because I have drone footage of what the farm looked like a few years ago and what it looks like now. And there's such a huge difference. And yeah, it should be pretty good. So, and I won't be talking. So hopefully you'll like it. No, you wouldn't be. Well, I don't think many people would be here. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think many people would say, "Oh my God, I want to live in Bangkok. It's flooded. Water world." I don't think that's going to happen. And certainly not me. I mean, I'd rather live on the coast somewhere, on an island, um, you know, and if I had to live in Suratani, I would live there. I could get used to it, but I would be like, I got to have a motorcycle because I would take off and go for the beach like once a week, once every 2 weeks. I'd have to go. Now, in 2050, there's going to be, just like now, there's going to be fewer Western retirees and backpackers. The kind with the smelly uh, elephant pants and the dreadlocks and stuff like that. There's not going to be many of those people. It's going to be too expensive. Uh, good morning. There's going to be a further surge of Chinese, Indian, Russian, and Middle Eastern visitors. Westerners are going to be a minority here, a big minority. High value, low volume tourism model. Some nightlife areas could disappear entirely. And so this is the thing. What is the focus going to be in 2050? in Thailand? What's the focus going to be on? Luxury, budget, something else? I think the Thais are just so set that they want this place to be a luxury destination. And I think, quite honestly, they have their heads up their asses. And I think everything that they're doing is pushing expats and pushing tourists away. Listen, I'm thinking about spending $300 just to go to Cambodia to get a 1-year visa. Now, I'm not sure how that works, if that's part of ASEAN. I don't think that it works that way. Let me see something here. I can ask. No, I don't think you can. No. Okay. But the point is that I've been thinking about when my friend comes back, I'm going to go, maybe I'll go visit him and I'll pay the $300. I'll get myself a retirement visa in Cambodia. I will get a bank account there. I'll put some money in there. I'll get an ATM card and I'll just keep that money there just in case. What's crazy, Scott, is the flooding that could happen overnight when the Thwaites Glacier falls into the ocean, and it could happen anytime. Well, I was in Alaska and saw some glaciers where I was. I was up way, way north. And all I know is that I'm sitting there looking at this ice and I'm like looking up and I'm thinking to myself, if this falls, I'm dust. We're dust. The boat is dust. So I don't want that to happen. The Thwaites is responsible for 4% of annual sea level rise. If it collapses entirely, it could add 65 centimeters to global sea levels, enough to inundate low-lying cities, displace millions of people, and increase the severity of coastal flooding and storm surges around the world. I knew it's a good idea to get a boat, just something like a rubber dinghy or something, just something that we could put the kids in, put the wife in, put some food and water, and we can just head out. I wanted to get one for a long time, and I just haven't, for whatever reason. My girlfriend is from Battambang, a very noble and giving individual. Well, Cambodians are generally pretty nice people. Put the money into a digital dollar and store in a cold storage wallet. Leaving cash in a Cambodian bank would not make me feel comfortable. If it's a nice chunk of dough, I'm only talking about $1,000 or something. I'm not talking about a huge amount of money. It's talking about enough to get me to where I need to go to. I can get my shit together. I'm not into the whole Bitcoin stuff. Okay, so Thailand is going to lose some of its manufacturing factories. It's going to lose some of its factories to cheaper countries because the cost of living is rising here like it's rising everywhere else. And there are places where it's not rising as much and where people can go, like China, maybe Vietnam. There are other places, and people are just going to go there. And you know what? Dealing in the Thai government with a business is a pain in the ass. It's not easy. Now, maybe it's easy if you've got a multi-million-dollar company like a Hilton or something like that. Maybe it's easier, and you're making so much money that the money you have to shell out to be able to do business here is relatively small. But when you're somebody who's a small businessman and you come here, I would say, what the hell do you want to do business here for? That's just my opinion. Now, there should be more medical tourism, high-end food exports, and maybe this will become a tech hub. I don't know. But the wealth gap is going to widen. Urban luxury versus rural stagnation. And if Thailand is to become a service-based economy, what will make it more expensive for foreigners to live here? What is it? Is that going to make it more expensive? If it's just strictly a service-based economy. I'm on an education visa. Bangkok Bank told me I need a letter from the U.S. Embassy, but I went today and they don't provide that. How do I open the Thai bank account? I'm on an education visa. Listen, the letter that they're asking for is an affidavit that verifies your address, if I'm not mistaken. All you have to do is say, I need to get an affidavit stamped by whatever it is. It's the consular general or something like that. And so in that regard, they can provide the letter. It'll cost you about $60. It's like 2,000 baht. And they stamp the letter, and then maybe Bangkok Bank will allow you to open an account. I've done it with that same affidavit. But then I've gone to SCB before to open an account for my kid, and they go, oh, no, we can't do that. I go, I got a retirement visa. Oh, yeah, you have work permit? I'm like, I have a retirement visa, you idiot. And they were like, oh, cannot. And I go, said this the other day. I'm married. I got my marriage paperwork. Oh, you married to a Thai? Yes. Oh, okay, no problem. I'm like, what the fuck? This shit irritates me. Listen, now this list is growing that I have. They don't do that anymore. Wow. Wow, that's pretty wild. So then how are you supposed to get a bank account? What are you supposed to do? You're going to do all your banking from the United States when you're here to learn and, everything. I mean, you can do that, of course, but what a pain in the ass. It's just stupid. Thailand is getting too stupid. Seriously. I may make up a business plan, figure out how much money we need, and say, that's it. We're gone. We're leaving. We're going to go to Ecuador. I'm out of here. I don't need this shit. And you go to Ecuador, you can get damn cheap insurance, less than $100, $75. You get insurance, and they cover everything. And if you don't want to pay, you don't have to pay. You can get public insurance, but the private insurance maybe $75, $100. And it's just the thing. Well, they may, and that's the thing. So, you're in a position where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You're in a rock and a hard place. You got an EDV, so you should be able to have a bank account just to pay for nominal things every day. But you can't. It's bullshit. And this is the thing. The banks start doing this. Listen, every fucking bank account that I have, listen, Thai, what is it? Thai Military Bank, TTB. I don't know what they call it now, but it's TTB. When I look at TTB and I go to where it says transfer money, it says you must go to the bank. You can't transfer anything. I'm like, what the fuck? It really pisses me off. Good morning, Cyrus. Exactly why I was asking. It's more convenient to use your Thai. No, it's not. You know what's more convenient? Get a retirement visa and get a bank account. That's more convenient. Not, I'll just use my wife's account. You only do that in a pinch, man. That's it. You don't have any money. You have no way of getting it. You're figuring things out. Okay, listen, honey, I'm transferring 100,000 baht. Okay, you get the money and that's it. Yeah, a lot of people don't have wives. A lot of people now that come over here, married guys, they don't have wives. Their wife died, they're divorced, whatever it may be. Well, they've cut that back, Martin. They've cut everything out. accept that. And, you know, I mean, I got my bank accounts. I don't give a shit. Anytime they go, oh, can you update your profile? We need your address and all this. I just, okay, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, everything is the same, verified. Yeah, but it's listen, I would suspect if you have a marriage visa, you can also get a bank account. I don't know. Now, if you can't, that's fucked up. What about an OA visa? Are they going to give you a bank account on an OA visa? This is what I mean, though. It's all the confusion. Now, Kasi Corn tends to be good, but Cyrus, you have a retirement visa. That makes it much, much easier. I mean, really, how did I get 7 bank accounts here? Because I needed a certain bank account for whatever. Like, you know, when I taught English, they said, can you open a Kasi Corn because we have to deposit the money there? Okay. Went down. I opened a bank account in 2 minutes. I look at Cambodia, Vietnam, or Malaysia as a backup. Not a fan of full-time living in the Philippines. No Philippines, no way. And the only reason I say Cambodia is because I just want that bank account. And quite frankly, I could probably get a bank somewhere else for about the same price, and it might be even better than a Cambodian. So I got to do a little bit of research. But OA visa, but the OA visa is the worst way to go about getting retirement. Too many hoops. Well, you got to get your police report and medical and all this other shit. So, I mean, you know, this is changing. And it used to be that I knew about every single visa. Now I don't. I just don't because they're changing the fucking rules all the time. You know, after a while, you just go, enough already. Jesus Christ. You know, I've been here 31 years, almost 31. 30, we'll say. And it's no easier for me than it is for somebody else. And that's a shame. I mean, listen, if I was in Ecuador after 21 months, I would be a temporary resident. In another 3 years, I would be a permanent resident and I could get a passport, get a Schwab account. I already have a Schwab account. I already have that. I have my Schwab card. I have everything. I have Truist and they don't charge either. Oh, you haven't done it on the LTR. Well, from what I understand, I think it's a DTV they don't allow. I don't know about the LTR. You should be able to. I don't see why not, but you know. Yeah, what you need to practice your passport, proof of address. So your lease agreement, house book, or utility bill, phone number. They all want the phone number now, and your BOI LTR approval letter to confirm your status. And some branches are clueless about the LTR visa, so going to the main branch in Bangkok is probably the best way to go about it. And they may ask for your proof of the pension income for their own compliance records. And this is what they do now. They just want to drum up anything they can. You need this and you need that. You need this and you need that. And the people in the bank are just doing what they're told. And they're just basically drones. It has nothing to do with, to me, it has nothing to do with people who go and get laid or people who smoke weed. That's a bunch of horse shit. It doesn't, listen, just because somebody smokes weed doesn't mean that they're a low value tourist. That's bullshit. Okay? Just because they go and get a piece of ass. I've known rich guys, wealthy guys who used to go to the bar because they wanted to buy a bowl of ping pong balls and throw them all over the place and see the girls go crazy, and then take some little spinner home and bang the shit out of them. So I don't think that makes them low value, and I don't think that, you know, even calling them a. I mean, I hear this shit all the time. Oh, are they a lady boy? Ah, shut the fuck up, you idiot. You obviously don't live here. This is the other thing. People don't think about it. The people who go to get the girls the most are the Thai guys. It's not the Westerner. A cash management account at Fidelity is the same with the debit card, reimburse ATM fees. Yeah, worried about scammers, but most of all the scammers in Thailand are other Asians. They're Chinese. And that's the thing. They're Chinese. And here they are, they're penalizing everybody else, the Westerners. And I think they just enjoy it. I think they just enjoy seeing everybody run around like a chicken with their head cut off. They fuck with my money, and that's it. I'm out. I'll tell my wife, listen, we got to figure out a way. You're going to have to quit your job, or you're going to have to see if you can work somewhere else or work from home or whatever it is. But if they mess with my money, that's a different story. Now, it will be hard for them to mess with my money, because if I really want to, I have all the money in my Wise account right now. So I don't even need a Thai bank account other than, and quite frankly, I've talked about it before, when I first came here, especially when I started working in boxing, I had a lot more money. And I would always walk around with 25,000, 50,000, just big rolls. I'd have a rubber band around a wad of cash. And I never paid for anything like, oh, let me transfer it. No, I never did that. I just took, I had like, maybe I'd have 1,000 baht in one pocket, and then I have the wad of cash in the other pocket. So when I was alone or it was safe, I would take out the wad of cash. Maybe I didn't have enough cash. I put it in my other pocket, and I'd always have 1,000 or 2,000 in my pocket. That's how I used to do things. I used to pay everything in cash, and I like that. Now, it is more convenient, and it's probably safer. Although I've never had any problems in Thailand with anybody robbing me or anything like that. Well, there you go. You're doing very well financially and love the ganja. Yeah, I don't care about it, but yeah, man, I've been using Fidelity for a while. I was just Googling the advantages over Schwab. I don't see any. You can move the bank on a level, and I don't understand what that means. I'm not against Bitcoin, but when I am using my money and moving it around and putting it in whatever I'm using it for, savings, trips, whatever it is, then I don't always have enough to put a nice chunk away. Must be after 9:44. Oh, you mean just keeping it in dollar? Well, I could do that. I could very easily do that. It would take a little bit of effort. Stable coins that are pegged to the dollar. Yeah. I do have an American Express card here, which I use, and then I pay most of it off. Okay, so in the future, there should be some more high-speed rails linking Bangkok and Chiang Mai and the Eastern Seaboard and probably China. And the skyline should be a lot more dense. And the cities are going to be smart cities, and rural Thailand will lag behind. And, that's the thing. It's a trade-off. Do you want to live in a smart city with all the high tech, or do you want to live in a quiet rural area, even if it's behind in the development? Because I could go to a lot of different places as long as I got 5G, 4G, 5G. As long as I have that, I got internet. Like out in Surat, it used to be. I don't know if you guys remember. Some of you might. I used to be out in Suratani. I couldn't get a signal, unless I walked out to the street and I had to walk and, I had to really look at where the signal was. And I just stood there because if I moved anywhere else, I wouldn't have a signal and they would just cut out. Now everything is, high tech. It's very good. So I don't have a problem living in a rural area, quite frankly. You have to look at the cash management account. It's like a bank account, only you can own shares in the account. The broker account debit card is not like the cash management. Okay, cash is more convenient. The banks and government have control now and are always moving towards more control, monitoring, yada, yada. It's our damn money. We can't even have free access with all the BS rules. That's the thing. You want to have more access to your money, but they're going to charge you fees. Listen, I just got charged. I have a card. I didn't have this card, and I thought, oh, I better get this just in case, right? Yeah, I can show you this card. There it is right there. That's my Truist card. Okay? Now, I like it because I get Sky Miles. Yeah, okay. Supposedly I get free trips and stuff like that when I hit certain tiers. This card is $95 a year. I go to my bank account the other day and I go, what the fuck? I go, how come? What's going on? My account is not where it should be. And I look in there, withdrawn, $95. And I forgot that it's been a year already since I got this card. They sent it to me. They sent it to my parents, and my parents sent it to me. Now, Charles Schwab sent me my card here in Thailand. I should just get rid of that Truist account. I don't even need it. But I have Zelle on it, so I have to transfer Zelle. And, to be quite honest, then I got Wise. Wise is damn good. Adapt or get left behind. I'm not saying it's better or worse. It's the same. And having two is better than one if you're overseas. I got Charles Schwab and I got an investment account. So I'm good to go there. All righty, let's continue. Shall we? Now there are higher visa requirements that we're just talking about. And many many visas, you got to have the health insurance, which I don't think is a bad idea, really. Now, people have been complaining about the taxation. I don't think you have to worry about that. And if you do, you're probably making enough money. You shouldn't be bitching about it. Banking restrictions have already started increasing, and they're going to continue. And the public residency, permanent residency, and citizenship are going to become increasingly rare. Now, if Thailand were taxed worldwide tomorrow, they taxed worldwide income tomorrow, how many people would leave? Put in the comment, stay or go, because I can tell you I would go if they started taxing my Social Security and the other money that I have. If they started taxing me, I'd be like, I'm out of here, man. Sorry, goodbye. See you later. Time to go. Go. Yeah. I think everybody would go. Well, that's the thing. They're not technically supposed to charge you for Social Security. But well, but from what I've been seeing, it's not something that you need to concern yourself and be overly worried. Oh my God, I don't want to move to Thailand because I don't want to get taxed. So, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm so gone. I am so gone. I'll be like, hey, listen, I have the money. I got cards with Thai banks, and as long as I can still use them, I can access my money until I get another bank account wherever I'm living. And I can tell you, my friend has a bank account in Ecuador, and he made a transfer. He got it in a day. So, I know, but that whole attitude of, well, it's still cheaper than everywhere else. Yeah, but what they're doing is they're bumping it up and bumping it up and bumping up, and it's not going to be cheaper anymore. They're going to make it the same goddamn price. That's what they're going to. Let me tell you something. Yesterday, day before yesterday, we went to the grocery store. Now, I used to get these burgers. They're gobbler burgers. Gobbler is in Thailand, I guess. And they have all kinds of great sausages, and they have lamb burgers, they have beef burgers. Well, I'd be happy just to get the beef burgers, although I do buy the lamb burgers every once in a while if they have them. They're out of everything now. So I went over to the other place where I get burgers, and those burgers are a little bit smaller, and the quality is, I would say, it's a touch below. It's not as good. Now, I usually get burgers from Bangkok Bob's. That is 560 baht for 6 burgers. You only need 1 burger because they're big. They're like almost a quarter pounder. I go walk over to the I go walk over to the place where they're selling the burgers. They're in a freezer. I look on there and I go, oh, I hope these are on sale for 119 baht from 129 baht. No, they raised the price to 149 baht. From 129, they raised it 20 baht. That's 16, 17%. They raised the price that much. And I'm like, these motherfuckers, they can't raise it 7%, 3%. They can't add 5 baht. No, they added 20 baht. And I'm like, well, now that kind of changes that changes how I think about these burgers, because they're not a deal anymore. They used to be a deal for 119. That's for 2 burgers. The 5 burgers are 560 baht, and those are great. They're fantastic. The lamb burgers are 2 for 229. They haven't gone up in price. But this other kind, I don't know what it is, that Angus or some shit. It used to be 119 baht. Then they raised it to 129 baht. I went, all right, 10%. Then they put it on sale for 119 baht sometimes. When I went, now it's 149 baht. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And they just raised the price not long ago. So I'm like, these bastards. Is the meat that much more expensive? Maybe. I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't think it's honestly, at this point now, I was going to buy 3 or 4 of them because, the kids, they want a burger. You give them a burger. It's easy. You just pull it out, throw it in the air fryer. Boom, it's done. I was going to buy like 3 or 4 at least packs. So when I had like 8 burgers, instead, I bought 2 because I'm like, why? Fuck them. I'll just buy from. Well, it's not even. It's only about 180 baht for the burgers from Bangkok Bob's for 2, and they're like this thick, and they're fat. They're good. So I'm like, why do I need to buy these pieces of shit? I'm going to buy this. I never thought to myself, oh, these things are pieces of shit. But now, because they went from 119 to 149 baht, I'm like, what the fuck, man? Anyway, Thailand will be globalized in 2015, but it'll be split. There'll be stronger Chinese and Korean cultural influence, even Japanese, more English in the cities, but still very low uh, in rural areas, and traditional festivals should survive, but they're going to be much more commercialized. They're already starting to commercialize the festivals. It's ridiculous. I don't want to see that shit. I want to see the old Thai festivals like it used to be. And you still can find them. But, now, personally, I know how I feel about this, but this is a question. Do you feel like the global influence makes Thailand better or worse? And quite frankly, I I think it's already way too modern. I don't need QR codes. I don't need all this bullshit. What happened when you wanted to make a transfer? You went to the bank. People didn't make that many transfers. They're not transferring 50 baht. The Thais are transferring 20 baht, 50 baht, 100 baht. It's ridiculous. Oh, Jesus, you guys with the fucking Fidelity account. What's the deal? Figure it out. All I know is Schwab is very good. I don't know about Fidelity. I know nothing about Fidelity. When I buy an import at one price, then I go to a store and the product will not be there and the Thai replacement will be there with a similar price and lower quality. Yeah, that happens. That happens. And, you know, it's bullshit. I don't want the shitty peanut butter. I want the peanut butter that I want. And I found a peanut butter. I don't really eat it now because I'm on a diet. 1/3 patty, ground beef chuck, 1/3 patty, 2 for $8. Okay, well that's 250 baht, 260 baht. So that's for 2 patties. So it's a little bit cheaper here. And I don't want to make my own. I use ground beef for different things. Like yesterday I made minced lamb. I got a bell pepper. You hollow out the bell pepper, cut the top off. You put the lamb inside. You put the top on top of the bell pepper, and then you cook it in the oven. And it was fantastic. I've had it several times. Fidelity, not Schwab. I don't know. What do I know about the U.S. now? I don't know very much anymore. I'm thinking about going back, but I was thinking maybe I can't go back until February or March, which is a ways off. Yeah, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do about this. I mean, yeah, I don't. I really just. I'm kind of in a. I'm not gonna. I'll go back to Florida for a visit. That's it. I got some things to do and some things to talk over with my family, and you know, it's no big deal. But I go back for about a week, 10 days, probably by myself because it'd be hard to get everything together logistically. But I'm going next month. I am out of here. I'm going to an island in the south, and I'm going to another island in the south, and I'm not going to say where yet. So hopefully you guys will be there. Now, let me see here. If you have lived in Thailand for a long time, you already know that this place is always changing and it never really stands still. Change is constant. I Ching. I Ching is Chinese. It's about change. But the changes ahead in the next 25 years are going to be bigger, faster, and harder to ignore than ever before. And it'll be harder to ignore than anything we've seen. And, you know, some of it will be exciting, the faster transportation, world class healthcare, but you're going to have to pay for it. More global connections, maybe even a better infrastructure than, well, I think it has a better infrastructure than many Western countries. You're going to tell me that the BTS and MRT are not better than the subway in New York? But some of the things are going to make life in Thailand more difficult, the higher costs, the more strict immigration rules, the banking hoops, banks, insurance companies, airlines, they're all full of shit. The government, all full of shit. So basically, Thailand will be reshaped for new arrivals to Thailand that people step into won't be the one that you see in travel videos now. It'll be more developed and more expensive and more regulated. Let's hope not. For those of us who have been here for decades, like me, it's going to take flexibility and planning to keep calling this place home. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. That's the thing. For whatever reason, Thailand seems to want to go more upmarket. Prices are going in one direction, and that's up. Well, I've been saying that for a long time, and that's what they want. And they think they can get away with it, and I think they're full of shit. Every time I walk down the street, I go, higher value? Come on. Pick up the freaking garbage that's everywhere. I go out of my village. I make a left turn and go up Happy Land Sai Song. And all along, for the first, I would say probably 10% of the street, there's nothing but garbage. It's all garbage. You go on the Sai Nung, you go on the Soi Wan, it's Sai Nung, not Soi Nung. But you go there, and they have a whole lot that's filled with garbage. And I'm like, why don't they clean this up and do something? Because they don't know what to do. They put it out on barges, and I don't know what they're doing with it. Scott, did you make any videos when you were at the front? Yes, I did. I've said that. I've already said that. I made videos with that. I made videos with my phone. I made videos with my drone. Not this time, but many times in Surat, I've done that. If you can't flow with the water, Thailand might not be the best for you, with you. Wow, thank you for that enlightening comment. Um, considering that I've been here more than 30 years, I would say I've gone with the flow. Now, everybody else, you want to come here, it's going to be on you. But, there's a lot of countries that are really horrendous to tourists. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but there are some that are very, very standoffish, we'll say. And it comes as no surprise, really. Thailand might be there might be a time when Thailand, what is this? I don't know what this guy's saying. Um, but there might be a time when Thailand is just like, it's just the same pricing as the US. Everything's kind of similar. And you're just like, yeah, well, it's Asian, but it's like the US. It's getting that way. Thailand is pricier, but they won't ever catch up to the West. It'll always be cheaper and easier to find bargains. Yeah, that's what you say now. MRT and BTS top class to the ancient rails of the US. Yes, I think the update in Chicago, I was wondering about that, was in the 50s. Dude, that want aimed at you. I understand that, but I'm just saying, it's generally from something you said 5 minutes ago. I know, but you're going to have to do that. Whether it's me or anybody else, you must do that. Now, I've done it, but I don't know if I want to do it much more. When they start doing shit with the bank, that pisses me off. Because now I have my passport. I got to go upstairs. I got to sit there and wait for these fuckers to give me their smug little attitude, which is what I get most of the time in banks. I get the, yes, what would you like? They're not like, sometimes they're very nice, but sometimes they are just, they're like, yes, what can I do for you? Come like, that kind of an attitude. And it's like, oh my God. When I asked the lady, when I put my, yeah, I know you do, Charles. When I put my ATM in my card in the ATM, and I turned around and I started walking away, and I went, oh shit, my ATM. I forgot my card. I run back to the card. It ate my card. I waited 15 minutes or so. The bank opens up. Can you please take my card out? I just lost it. Oh, where did the card come from? The United States. No, cannot. And I went, all you have to do is open up the ATM and get me my goddamn ATM card. No, you have to write your bank in America. And I went, if I write my bank in America, it's going to take me a month and a half to 2 months to get another card. I go, is there a problem? I'm telling you, I just put it in. 1 minute, sir. She gets on the phone. There's some lady there. Oh, what happened? I said, well, I just put it in just like 15 minutes ago. As soon as you opened, I came in and she said, hang on a second. Then the lady's talking to her and she's going, come on, come over to me. And she took the card out. She started to hand it to me and she goes, wait. She made me sign for it. And I go, okay, fine. I'll sign for it. No problem. Oh, God. If you want to go against the flow, move to Australia. There you go. My buddy was just there, and he said, you know, it was great, but it was expensive. As a guy that went from humble beginnings and living in Thailand nearly my whole adult life and making millions investing, I'd suggest you buy scarce assets and disruptive technology. 90-day check-in, I feel you. Trying to go, what is this? Why am I having problems with this? Trying to go and I don't know what's going on with this. Am I stuck here? Yes, I'm stuck. Ooh. All right. Well, that might not work. We'll see here. Trying to go and hardware supplies at Global House or Home Pro. It's like I'm taking on a loan. Yeah, I know. We went to some place, but it wasn't a chain. And that's where we got all the stuff for the South, where we put everything in the ground and I did all that stuff. 50,000 baht for insurance to open a bank account for new what? 50,000 baht for insurance. First of all, when you open an account, never ever get their insurance. Ever. You don't need it, and you're going to be paying every single year. So don't do it. Bullshit. I had that happen to me like 7 years ago, almost similar situation. Told me it had been shredded. When I did the 90-day, it was a little annoying if the post office was full. Oh, by the way, Thai baht 32.25 to the dollar, 61 air quality, so moderate, 82 degrees, high of 93, low of 79. Feel like temperatures 83, 74% humidity, and it's partly cloudy. The wind gusts are 18 kilometers an hour, which is it's going pretty good out there. But you know what? It looks like it's kind of died down a little bit. It's not all that bad right now. Let me see here. Well, you never go to the post office. I never go there. For just about everything, I never go to the post office. There's like 3 postal places. They're like, they charge you 10 baht on 100 or something like that. But if you're sending somebody that's, something that's 50 baht, it might cost you 5 baht. But there's nobody there. Every time I go there, it's empty. I go and talk to the girls. A couple of girls, they've been working there like 25 years. They've been working there as long as I've been going there. And it's been for years. They used to be in the mall here on the, I don't know, second floor, ground floor, first floor. I think it was the second floor. And that's where I go. And I never have any wait. I don't have any of that shit. And then, what I do is I just tell the motorcycle driver, drop me off right here. Go right in, do what I got to do. And then I walk over to the mall. It's a 2-minute walk. I remember when the bot was 25. It used to be set at 25 pretty much. The agents can't even get you out, of the bank insurance BS if you come on a tourist visa. They said get the well, first of all, if you're on a tourist visa, you shouldn't even be getting a bank account. And the thing is that they're not forcing me to do shit. I'll just say, no, I don't want the account. I'm leaving. Bye. I don't listen. I only have 2 Thai ATM cards, and that's it. And the reason is because I have 7 accounts. If I had 7 cards, it would cost me almost 1,600 baht a year for those cards. I understand that. Then get it after you get the retirement visa. You know, get the paperwork from your agent or whatever you got to do. And nowadays, the agents open up the bank accounts, and the banks charge 3,500 baht to open up an account. It's ridiculous. It's fucking bullshit. Sorry. It's bullshit. They should listen. If you're trying to transfer from a tourist to a retirement visa, they should let you open a fucking account. I mean, I don't understand. It's like, what is your problem? Do you not want us here? Do you want us to leave? I understand that. That's why I'm saying you come on a tourist visa and you say, I'm going to get a retirement visa. They should just go, all right, fine. Retirement visa. Money to open a bank account? Fuck you. That's like the worst thing. No, this is not Thailand. This is bullshit. They do that in other places, I'm sure. I'm sure they'll do that in other places. Yeah, well, why do you need an agent to open a bank account? That's just ridiculous, man. Oh, I can't even open a bank. I can't go and open a bank. Fuck you then. I don't need your bank account. Funny, I can open a Wise account online, but I can't open a Thai bank account because everybody's scammers. We're worried. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. I mean, seriously. You know, I used to say, would I still come to Thailand now? 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I would say, oh, I don't know if I'd still come here. Yeah, I would. There's a lot of good things about Thailand. I really like it. Well, I do like it. I do like that I am pretty much laid back, but guess where? I'll be laid back wherever I am. And like in Ayampe in Ecuador or something like that, it could be Portugal, but Portugal, I don't know. The only good thing is that it's Europe. But I like being by the ocean. And it was like every afternoon, I just went out, went for a little swim, came back after half an hour, dried off. You know, every day I went out to the ocean, went out to the beach. It was great. I'd go and get fresh fish, and that was fresh fish that would last you for weeks. Well, don't you have to do the 90-day report even on an LTR? The 90-day report is consistent. You have to do it even if you're on an elite visa. Now, the first time you do it, and then after that, they help you with it. And I don't know what kind of help they give you. I don't know if they do everything or what they do, but that's why. It's to me, it's only once a year. Well, yeah, you can do it online. That's the thing. So what is the problem? What's the problem with doing it online? And if they don't have it, you just go, you're sorry, and you email them and say, I'm trying to get online. Your site is down. And what you do is you do it a week before, which you're allowed to do, and you have a week after. That's it. You know. But they do on elite visas, you have to do them. Well, listen, the thing with Cambodia is you're thinking of all the paperwork, all the documents. Think about living there. I don't know that living there is better than Thailand. You know. But yeah, I'm actually thinking about getting a retirement visa there, and I don't know. Um, I felt safe there. You know, honestly, I did feel pretty safe there. Only one time did I not feel safe, and that was about 2:30 in the morning, coming home on a motorcycle, and the motorcycle was screwed up, and there was a problem, and some guy stopped, and I was like, no, I don't need your help, because I didn't know if I could trust them. Yeah, but the 90-day report is nothing, man. That's not a deal breaker. Now, the banks with all the shit that they're doing, that could be a deal breaker. And I don't know I don't know exactly what to do, because I don't know if my wife can get a job somewhere else. She could get a job working with her company, but she's got to get a visa to go to the United States, and then she doesn't need one to go to Ecuador, but if she's even going to set foot in the United States, I think she needs one. I think hers is just about ready to expire, her 10-year. So we got to get her another one. There is no renewal. You just have to get a new one, which, whatever. The kids are American, so they can come and go whenever they want. No, he's not the only one. I'll be honest. I've heard that before. And Cambodia, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, could be dangerous. I've seen shootings in the street, although I've seen some here as well. But I've seen shootings in the street right in front of Heart of Darkness and Shanghai Bar. There was a guy running after a guy shooting at him, and the guy died right in the intersection. It used to be the Walkabout and Shanghai Bar, and he killed him right there. And there's all these people standing out there watching. He didn't care, you know. But that was a long time ago, and things are different now. It is much improved. But I personally, my buddy loves it there. But my buddy he's older like me, and he's alone. He don't care. He just wants to go have a drink. He does his work. He makes his money. He doesn't give a shit. You know, he's doing his work because he can get his work, his money, and he's getting Social Security, and it doesn't really matter. So he just wants to do it as long as he can. LTR is the best visa time if you have the assets. The cost is only $5,000 a year. No 90-day reports. Not subject to any taxes. No re-entry permit needed when leaving the country. Yeah, but isn't that it's 5 years in 5 years? I think that's what it is. I don't know. I don't have any real problem with the retirement visa. It doesn't really bother me. It's pretty easy to get. Listen, I used to go to Cambodia when there were no ATMs and there were no Western Unions, and you used to have to go with cash, nothing but cash. And if you ran out of cash, you had to borrow the cash, or you had to have the money sent over, like FedEx or something like that. And that's how you got your money. There was no other way to get money. And slowly but surely, they had the Western Unions, and you could have money sent to you. And I ran out of money once, and my wife sent me money. I go, listen, don't ask me any questions. I need $200. She's like, why? I'm like, because I need some money. I'll explain it when I get home. Please don't argue with me. All right. So she sent the money. I got it. Everything was okay. And then they had and then slowly but surely they got banks going. Now they have the bank. I wouldn't put, $100,000 in their bank. I probably wouldn't even put 25,000 in. I'd put 5,000 in there, but that would be it. So, it may be more beneficial for me to just do something and just wait and open an account somewhere else. I don't know, or try to get my Y's switched over to a U.S. account and get my card. And, I got to look at the card. I got to think about it. I got to see. I think all they're going to do is ask me to, they're just going to ask me to show proof of my address, and that's it. Best visa, the requirement is high though, 80,000 in passive income. Look at your tax form, LTR offer, return on investment. You won't see the LTR on embassy website. Yeah, doesn't matter if you feel safe or not. Shit can happen anywhere, anytime. Beware of your surroundings. Yeah, and you know what I always say? Oh, it's really nice here, until it's not. You think Thailand can't pop off? I've seen Thailand pop off many, many times. I've been here through a lot of coups. They're talking coup now. And I'm not going to cover it. I'm not going to go over it. I'm not going to go anywhere near it anymore. But, that's the thing. Shit happens when it happens. And sometimes it's dangerous. Sometimes it's not. Anyway. What a good stream. I won't be streaming on Sunday because I'll be watching the fights. Dricus Duplessis and Khamzat Chimaev. I've been waiting for that fight, and there are a couple other good fights, but I want to see that fight. So probably I'll stream on Monday. Monday at 8:30, and I stream at 8:30 mainly to appease 2/4 Korean, because I know it gets past his bedtime when it's 11:30, and he gets tired because he's an old man now. He takes the old man now. I was very surprised. My mother told me, your father hasn't been taking naps lately. I'm like, why not? Because I don't want to eat at midnight. He takes a nap and he doesn't wake up until 9:30. By the time they start cooking everything, it's 11, 12 o'clock. A little late to change the LTR thing. Not sure the wife would go along with it. You threw me off. I was expecting 9. Well, I did it all for you, man. Not really, but I did think that, you have mentioned to me before, please do it earlier. Anyway, that's all I have, I think. So until next time, I'm Scott. I am an American in Bangkok. I keep thinking about the banks, man. It just pisses me off. But until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Choke me, jerking my. It's good luck and see you later. Take care. There you go. We'll talk to you later. Thank you very much, everybody. See ya. Nice.